What's going on, good people? We are getting to the end of spring and now we're starting to enter into summertime here in a couple of weeks, where we are going to experience what we like to call the fourth quarter of cool season lawn care. It is going to be the hardest months for your lawn coming up here in June, July, and August. So let's talk about in this video the #1 thing that you can do to help you get through that period of time and into the fall, where the cooler temperatures return and the rainfall returns, and you can have the best lawn as possible through this period of time. Let's get into it. All right, so before we get into the video, let's just take a second, take a look at the lawn, see what we're looking like. Yeah, can't complain about that at all. So to preserve this, one of the #1 things that I can do and that you can also do for your lawn is proper watering. So how do you do proper watering? This is where doing irrigation audits come in. So as you can see, I've got these water containers or rain gauges here, and I've got them spaced out throughout the lawn. We've got another one here, another one there. We've got another one over here. So my irrigation did run this morning, and I had these rain gauges out, or you can call them measurement gauges, out last night leading up to my irrigation cycle that ran this morning. So now I can come in and I can check these and see exactly how much water was put down through my irrigation system. And looking at that, we're right at about a ½ inch in this one. And then we can come over here, take a look at the next one, see where we're at. And again, we're right at about a ½ inch on that one. And I can go around to all of my different areas of the lawn and check and see what my irrigation is looking like. So you saw those two were pretty accurate. Let's come over to this one, which I know this is going to be a different story. So boom, looking at this one, there's only about 2/10, yeah, probably about 2/10 of an inch of water that's in this one here. So that lets me know, and I could even tell how difficult it was to actually get this back in the ground compared to the other ones. So we got 2/10 of an inch of water here, and then on my other gauges that were out here through the middle, I was right at about a ½ inch. All right, Cam, so you ran your little test, you put some water in some little containers that you got off of Amazon, and what does that really even mean, and what's the purpose of even doing that? So now I know how much water I'm actually putting down every irrigation cycle that I'm running. So I can make sure that I am accurately watering, and I'm not just out here willy-nilly, oh, it hasn't rained in a while, or it just rained, I'm gonna put some water down and hope for the best. So a lot of people have asked me how I keep my lawn so consistent throughout the season. It's doing things like this. It's about being in the details and knowing exactly what inputs are going into your lawn. Water is the key to consistency of the lawn. It drives the amount of nutrients that are going to be taken up. It drives the amount of nutrients that are going to be pushed past your root zone, i.e. if you're watering too much, now your plant can't get to those nutrients, also called leaching. It also leads to the amount of drought stress that you're going to be having on your plant. So if it's hot and dry, as we're about to get into the fourth quarter, which we know is going to happen. It happens every year, and it's getting worse as times go on. Now you can account for how much water you need to be putting down. And with that, you can properly put down the right amount of water to keep your lawn green and healthy and getting through those stressful and dry periods that are coming ahead of us. And I know I keep saying the irrigation system, but this pertains to any sprinkler that you may have. You do not have to have an in-ground system for you to be able to water your lawn. You can just have a couple of sprinklers and some hoses that you picked up from the local big box store, or you can have a fancy irrigation system. The key is how you are putting the water down, that you make sure you have the data and you know how much water is actually going onto your lawn. So now we can take this piece of information that we have and we can pair that with our evapotranspiration, or our ET, which I've already told y'all about this season. So we can look at that forecast on the NOAA website and see what it's gonna be for the week coming up. So I looked mine up in my area. So it's about a 1.22 inches of evaporation, or ET, forecasted. So now I know if I want to put down an inch of water, which is going to be 2 watering cycles, I'm now going to be replacing about 82% of the water that was lost. And you can vary how moist or dry you want to keep your soil. I'll probably say between replacing anywhere from 60 to 80%. I'll probably dial it back right now. It's not very hot, it's not as humid right now. So I'll probably dial back and probably apply less than an inch of water. So for me to do that, that just means I have to run my irrigation cycle for less than what I ran it today. That would give me less water going down, and then in turn, I will be replacing less of that ET, i.e. keeping the lawn on the drier side. So as you can see, I've got a number of trees here in the backyard. I have a good amount of shade. I also have a fence around my lawn. With that, I am getting less airflow and less drying out of my lawn. That could lead to increased disease pressure. So one of my key takeaways in dealing with shade and watering, I like to keep mine on the drier side. So instead of putting down an inch of water to give me that 80% replacement, more than likely I'll probably stay around that 50 to 60% range of replacement of that water. So even though I've been doing this for about 5 years now, I continue to do this at least once per year, and typically I do it before the summer heat hits. That way I already have this information. I already have my irrigation times and durations dialed in for when I actually need it. I know the next question is gonna be, well, Cam, how long did it take you to put down that half an inch of water, or how long should you be watering on your irrigation system? I can tell you it is going to vary. All of my zones run for different amounts of time, which add up to the half an inch of water. It depends on your overlap. It depends on your water flow, how much is coming out of your bib or from your well supply, wherever you get your water from. There are a lot of different variables, also depending on what sprinkler heads you're using and how much volume they're able to put down. So that's why running this test will let you know how much water you need to put down. So set your cups up and then run your irrigation system for half an hour. See how much water you get for that half an hour, or you can set your sprinklers up, let them run until you get a half an inch of water into those cups. And at that point in time, you know exactly how long you need to run your sprinkler or irrigation system to make sure that you're getting that half an inch of water down. And then from there, you can make any adjustments if you have zones or areas that are not getting that amount of water. To be honest with you, if you actually just have sprinklers like from the big box and you're just running water hose, that is actually pretty easy to do, because now you can dial in and know that one exact head, if you're only running one of them, it puts down this exact amount of water in this period of time. So now if you need to move that to different areas, you know that you have to run that sprinkler head for that amount of time and you would get that half an inch of water. It's actually a little bit easier if you've got to do it that way than when you have irrigation systems which are overlapping and you've got different zones that are giving you different coverage. There's a little bit more that goes into it at that point. But all in all, set your cups out there, run your irrigation system till you can get a half an inch of water in it, and then that'll let you know. My irrigation system takes a lot longer than what I would like it to. So that's one of the reasons why this year I'm actually going to be double checking all of my irrigation nozzles, checking to see what size orifice they have in them, see if I can increase any of those as I've made some adjustments to my irrigation system, or see if I can cap off some heads and maybe up the amount of water flow that I can put down in a shorter period of time. So those are all knobs that you can adjust and work on to make your system more efficient, to make sure that you're getting the right amount of water down and you're keeping your lawn in the best health that you can during the hot periods of the season. So when you are looking for consistency and when you are looking to have the best performing lawn as you can, it's not always about the products. It's not all about having the best gear and the best equipment. A lot of times it's about having the best and most accurate data to monitor the performance of your lawn and to battle the weather conditions. Because as we come up in the fourth quarter, the weather conditions are going to be what you're going to be battling. It's not the products, it's not the equipment, it's gonna be the weather conditions. So if you can manage and maneuver around the weather conditions, you will have a better chance of keeping that immaculate lawn that you're looking for all the way through the summer, enjoying all of those cookouts, and getting into fall renovation and overseeding time where you can repair whatever damage has happened and keep the ball rolling. All right, y'all, as I always say, just know we work.